Hey, 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 how's it going? Mm, Looks like we are live, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys. This is going to be such a fun Facebook Live today. I'm very excited because of a couple of different things. One of them is we have several of our speaker spotlights that are going to be joining us. These are people who are committed to their level of expertise, their topic that they're going to be teaching on. They've been doing it for quite some time. Some of them have been people who I personally have been really seeking after to try and get them to come. And I feel like it's just an incredible opportunity for us to be able to have them at our event. And I can't wait. I'm so excited about it. For those of you who have not been to or attended one of our live energy healing conferences, I would love to invite you. I'd love to have you consider coming this year because it's definitely very special, very unique, and very exciting this year. One of the things that I personally try to do is every year I try to up level and add value and bring different types of educational events and attractions to this event to have people not just be able to learn about energy healing, but to also be able to experience it. So, for those of you who have attended before, I'd love to hear maybe some of the things that you've enjoyed about attending in the past. Good morning, Marilee. How are you? Who else is on right now? Please say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And I'd love to be able to connect with you guys. So, I also would love to tell you what I personally experienced the very first time that we ever did an energy healing conference. First of all, I was walking around. We had 1,400 people there at the very first conference, and it was a midweek conference, just like this one next month. Although we're also going into the weekend a little bit. But we had people walking around saying stuff like, I thought I was the only weird one. I thought I was the only weirdo. It was really funny. I thought I was the only one who was into this kind of stuff. People realized that they weren't alone. People realized that there were others that were like them, that they didn't have to be, the only one in their world that was into this, right? And learning. So, yeah, exactly. This person says it's fun to hang out with so many believers at these conferences. Marilee says, I'm good. Thanks. Hope you're doing great. Absolutely. I'm doing really good. That time in California this past week was very, very helpful to me. And I also would like to add some really unique things. You may have seen our logo has this new part of it added that says evolved. And that's because this conference has adjusted and aligned to be very accepting with all people. And I am sorry that it wasn't that way at the beginning, but it definitely is now. And I feel very, very grateful that that it is that way now. So it's a lot more universal, meaning that anyone can come to our conference and be able to feel like this matches their belief system and that they are aligned with it. And there really is something for everyone. This year, we have an energy healing art gallery. If you know of an artist that has not yet gotten their submissions in, we have a lot more room still, and we're really kind of pushing for that. So please tag your friends. What that looks like is we're going to have lattices, tall lattices that are set up. They're in by 4 foot by 8 foot dividers, and you can actually have your artwork hung. So if it's something that doesn't hang, like it's not framed, maybe it's a sculpture or something like that, we'll also have some tabletop spaces available as well. There is a small fee to have your stuff on display, but you also have the option of selling it or selling prints as well. Each artist will also have a QR code, so people will be able to see who the artist is, learn how to follow them on social media or their website, learn how to purchase prints and what other kind of things they have. It's going to be really a great opportunity for anybody in this field of art. And I just love, love, love art. And it is, to me, it's such a healing thing in and of itself. So I'm so excited. Also would love to hear from you who are just joining us in today to tell us where you're from, tell us about your experiences at the conference. We'd love to hear all about that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a comment down here in the comments for you so that you can see whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is that you might be tuning in from. I want you to be able to know about this conference. I also have some ticket giveaways I'm going to be doing in just a few minutes. I also have a call for people who would like to volunteer, whether it's before the conference as a marketing committee support person or as a volunteer actually at the conference, helping as an usher, as a room host, helping vendors to be able to find their places at the beginning of the day. Maybe you'd like to come the day before and help us to set up chairs. There is a huge amount of work that goes into this event, so we are definitely accepting help. It's definitely something that I cannot do this on my own. I'm only one person. I'm like the orchestrator, right? That I'm putting things together, but I definitely need help. Here's the link. If you are interested in volunteering, volunteers get very generously I guess compensated in terms of thanks from our supreme gratitude, right? Because we know we can't do this without you. You also are going to get 2 tickets. This is all just for a 3-hour shift. You're also going to get all of the audio recordings for all of the classes over the full 3 days. And you're also going to get access to we have a VIP night the evening before the whole conference. You're invited to come and meet and mingle and have this fun gathering with us there as well. We'll have appetizers and it's just going to be a lot of fun. That is happening on the 22nd. The other thing that the volunteers get is a goodie bag that is filled with all kinds of swag and unique things that you can't get unless you are a volunteer. So I'm super excited about everybody who is reaching out to volunteer. I've had a lot of people say, how many volunteers do you still need? Total for the conference, we are looking at about 120 volunteers over a 4-day event. It's the day before. There's a lot of setup that needs to happen, and then over the 3 days of the event. So if you can come in and help us during a 3-day part, that would be fantastic. Lots of people don't realize that as an usher or a room host, all you have to do is come to the event, and then during a 3 or 4 hour block, you're actually in there attending the classes during that time. And you're just there as a support person to make sure that the speaker might not need any extra help. You know, if a microphone goes kaput because the batteries or whatever, or if there's garbage that might need to be cleaned up in the classroom space, things like that. It's very simple to do. And we still have a lot of those room host spaces that are left. So if that's something that you're interested in, please look at this link for the volunteers and help us out if you can. It's very simple to do it. And like I said, we know we could not do it without you. And it's really important for us to be able to put this event on. And so I don't want to make anybody feel guilty if they're not able to do it, but I promise you, it doesn't take much physical endurance to sit there for 3 hours to participate as a room host. And lots of people want to come to those classes anyway. In fact, our schedule is going to be ready next week, so you'll be able to kind of pick and choose a little bit as well. Excuse me. But there are some really fun things also for marketing committee members. So if you find yourself just naturally networking and talking to people about how much you love this event, the marketing committee option might be something. Thank you, Marilee. The marketing committee might be something that you might like to do. And one of the things that I want to tell you about the marketing committee position is it's so easy. All you're committing to doing as a marketing committee support person is I'm going to send you out an envelope packet of some flyers and some cards that you can hang out while you're on community boards, or if you go to the health food store, you could literally just place it on their counter and ask them if that's okay if you do that. lots of times they give you permission to do that. If you're going to a gas station and there's other flyers up, you might hang one at the gas station window or ask them if they can do it. If you're at the library or the bank, sometimes they have bulletin boards at grocery stores, different places while you're out. It's just to help us to get the word out. You don't have to make any special trips for those kind of things. It's basically while you're out and about over the next few weeks, you'd be doing that. And then, of course, people that you might meet at a sound bath or a meditation, group meditation or yoga or things like that. Anytime that you're in a facility or a place where they might be open to allowing you to place it, then you just give them some extra. So you don't even have to like hand them out to people in person. All of them anyway. If you know somebody that would want one, it's a little 4x4 card, glossy paper, very, very nice looking. And then of course, we just invite you to also just tell people why you're going to the conference. Maybe you can share some posts. And in addition, in exchange for doing that, we actually have 5 tickets for you. So you can have your own meetup party or get together with maybe some sisters or neighbors or friends. I've had people connect with people from high school that are now starting to learn about yoga and mindfulness and other things associated with energy healing. Maybe you yourself have a team where they would want to come to this. Maybe you guys focus and study and learn about, energy healing modalities, or maybe that's something that you're into, Qigong or aromatherapy or different things like this. You literally get 5 tickets for free. So that's one for you and one for 4 friends. So it's very simple, but we know how important that is. And we still have a lot of marketing committee support people that are needed. So if that's something that you're interested in, please let us know for sure. I'm also going to drop one more link down here in the comments for you. This is for the art gallery. We talked a little bit about this earlier. And art is so important to me. So I definitely want to make sure that you guys know about this. Definitely want you guys to be able to have your art on display. The theme is energy healing. Anything that could pertain to that is meaningful to you, please go ahead and submit that. We do reserve the right to turn away any that are not considered family friendly, but of course, people do submit all kinds of amazing artwork. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate this. My grandmother was an artist as I was growing up. She really valued art, and she didn't start painting until she was in her 50s, and she became quite an accomplished artist, and I just really, really appreciate that. Also, I have a daughter who on a regular basis creates a lot of art, and it's just going to be amazing. So let me tell you about our first speakers that we have coming on today. Leanne King is going to be our very first speaker that will be joining us today. And she's going to be speaking on Native American Ironology. What she does is she takes the medicine wheel and places it directly over the map of the iris. And is there anyone on that's on right now that maybe you have participated in educational information, or you've participated in an iridology session yourself? Leanne King is going to be talking about how she does that specifically. And she is a certified and registered Cherokee tribal member. She's also a farmer's wife and mother to 4 sons and 5 daughters, and she says numberless grandchildren. She's a certified holistic iridologist, master herbalist, and certified raw food teacher, and internationally certified aromatherapist. Now, she's been teaching with us for some time. I know her family personally, and she's been privately mentored by Native American traditional teacher intensively for over 6 years. She is an energetic and informative speaker with a wellspring of experience and insight who actually walks her talk. And I am excited for her to be able to talk today, because for those of you who cannot attend live in person at the conference, she has a free gift for everyone that's on today. And I'm excited for you to be able to see that. Our other speakers that we have on that will be joining us today, we have Kathy Watts, who will be joining us from the San Antonio, Texas area. And who knows Kathy? Kathy's so much fun. She's going to be talking about how your home is directly connected with your energy. And she's spoken in the past at our conferences. She's a highly sought after and popular speaker. And one thing that I want to share about Kathy is she takes her real life experience and applies it to people's home. Her class is titled Emotions and the Home, and her interactive class and vendor space, I want to add, because even if you go to her vendor space, it's not like you just see a banner. She's got a lot of things for you to learn and to be inspired by there. Her class is going to be about how your emotions and your clutter are connected. And she reveals in this class why your clutter collects in specific areas and how you can clear the energy and have the home of your dreams. So I'm excited for her to be able to do that. She is an idea originator, a possibility detector, an abundance generator, as well as a spontaneous creator who shows everyone how to have fun while doing meaningful work. And I'm thrilled to have her not just as a friend, but also as a speaker at this conference. It's going to be really great. Our next speaker, I just have to tell you guys, I am elated to have her be a part of this event. She is a first-time speaker for us, and when I very first came across her speaking application, I could not wait to talk to her and get her on our roster. For those of you who have seen maybe some of the people who've come back time and time again, you're like waiting for those fresh new classes to come, and this is one of them I know will definitely not disappoint. This particular person who's coming on, this is Melanie Skelton. I'm going to let Melanie tell a little bit more about her personal experience as it pertains to the world of energy healing and holistic health. But one of the things I do want to mention before without further ado, is that when she comes on today, she's going to be talking to you about how this information applies to every single person here. Her unique take on genetic tendencies and understanding how individual nutritional needs can affect you, but how you can be able to see that through your eyes. Things like your eye color, your structure, and your pigmentation can help you to make different life choices and to be able to help you to support your body in a much healthier way. So she's an incredible woman, you guys, with lots of experience as a master herbalist and an internationally certified master iridologist, and the formulator for Amine Naturals and the founder of Melanie's Health and Nutrition. She began her journey over 25 years ago as she battled cancer. I'm going to let her go into the more of the specifics of that and how she came to know about what she knows and how she was led into this. But for those of you who have your own wellness clinics, your own wellness centers, your own private practice, I'm excited for you to be able to connect with Melanie and how she can actually bring more information to you and how you can add this for your clients as well. It's going to be really fun and a lot of excitement today. Please, I would like to go ahead and do some giveaways. For those of you who are sharing this video, all you have to do is click that share button. Whether you're on YouTube, you can go ahead and tag some friends or share that video with your friends. Grab that link and share it to your Facebook page or other social media as well. It's going to be a lot of fun today. Those of you who shared, please comment and let us know that you did share, because I am going to award you with a pair of tickets to our 3-day energy healing conference right now. Catherine Hall, you are our first winner. Thank you so much for sharing this video. I'm going to go ahead and hook you up with a pair of tickets. So what you'll want to do is message us on our Facebook page, or you can go ahead and email me directly and let me know that you were one of the winners today. Here's my email up on the screen so that you can get the spelling correct and get that all taken care of. I would love to be able to connect with you at the conference. So if you're there, come and say hi. Definitely, you're welcome. Kathy Wilkes says she shared as well. You're our winner number 2 today. I've got one more pair of tickets for the next person who shares, please go ahead and click that share button. Let other people know about this conference. And of course, our videos, who we've got coming on today. We've got Leanne King, we've got Kathy Watts, and Melanie Skelton. This is going to be so great. Carol, thank you so much. You're our third and final winner for today for our pair of tickets. These are general session tickets that are going to be happening June 23rd to the 25th in Ogden, Utah. We've got a huge amount of interest. We've got 7 billboards up and down the Wasatch Front, thousands of digital advertising. People are just really talking about this. There's quite the buzz that's happening. I'm so excited. All right, we've got our first speaker that is all ready to go behind the stage here. We're going to go ahead and bring her on. This is Leanne King. Please go ahead and welcome our first speaker today, Leanne King. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
So good. I'm so excited for this conference. It's going to be so big.
Yes, I'm super excited about it too. And an interesting thing about this conference, every year falls on my anniversary. But today it's off by one day, but 40 years. I've been married for 40 years to the same man.
That is so cool. Totally.
Yes,
That is so cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just turn the time over to you. And then I'll be here. So if you need anything at all, just let me know.
Okay. Well, what I want to talk about is your health, and not just your physical health, but your emotional, your spiritual. And how many of you have heard people say, well, you need to get to the root of the problem? You know, these are the symptoms, but you need to get to the root of the problem. And you are just like, okay, well, what is the root of the problem? Well, Native American iridology is going to help you find the root of the problem. So I am a master herbalist, a certified aromatherapist. I have an online aromatherapy certification school. But one of the things that really hit home for me was when I studied under Native American instructors, as Tammy said, for over 6 years. And we learned all about intensively the medicine wheel. Now, there's a lot of, and how many of you have been typed with certain personality types? There's all different kinds of programs out there. I've done it and I have gleaned a lot from it. But in the teachings of the medicine wheel, our goal is to become a fully balanced person. A fully balanced person, not just a north person or an east person or a west person, but we want to be balanced in all areas. And in the Native American iridology, what I teach is, first of all, we're going to look at your basic eye color and specific different structures that you might find. Now, in traditional iridology, some of you may have been experienced or been exposed to traditional iridology. Here is a traditional iridology chart. And this is actually from a class that I became certified in. But in this, we had to learn all of this, where all the body parts are, and you have to have sometimes pretty expensive equipment, different things like that. And what came to me through a dream actually is that we can simplify this process. We can make it so that the everyday person, you and your family and your friends, can learn how to see what is in the eye, that is a not only as a mirror of your soul, but a mirror of everything that goes on in your body. And traditional iridology does teach that. We learn this science that the brain, everything that goes on in the brain and in your body appears like a TV screen or a computer monitor on your eye. But what we are lacking in traditional iridology is the background information. And what I mean by that is, so when you take, here's a traditional, this is a medicine wheel chart, and it has 24 different sections. And you'll receive this in my class, a copy of this. And what I recommend you do is you take this and you go to a copy store and because it'll make it a lot easier. In our class, we layer the traditional iridology chart, we layer this over it, and in pretty good lighting in the room, you can see through here and see what's going on. But if you take it and you put it on clear acetate like overhead projector, then it makes it a lot easier. And so you can see then when you learn the basics that iridology is not about diagnosing diseases. It is about learning about your strengths and your weaknesses that you were born with, and how you can turn your weaknesses into strengths, and that there are just three basic colors. And with those three basic colors comes basic uh, weaknesses and strengths. So let's just talk about a few of those. So if you are a blue-eyed person, and a blue-eyed person can be super brilliantly blue, it could be green eyes, which is really just a layer of yellow over the green, over a blue eye. You can have sort of gray eyes or bluish white eyes. All of these fall under the category of a blue-eyed person. So a blue-eyed person traditionally has weaknesses of anything to do with the lymphatic system. In fact, the scientific name for a blue-eyed person is a lymphatic eye. And so we have the lymphatic system. We have anything to do with mucosal tissues. You might have a sinus, known for having traditionally sinus problems or lung problems. Also, over acid chemistry, arthritis, rheumatism, skin issues specifically are known for being a blue-eyed person. Yeah, and then adrenal. Do you suffer from adrenal burnout? You might be a blue-eyed person if you do. If you're like the go, 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 and until you drop dead almost, then you probably have a tendency to be a blue-eyed person. Blue-eyed people also can have issues with emotional pain, forgiveness, diminished flexibility, limiting self-perception. So if those are all of our weaknesses, what are our strengths? We can tend to have a strong digestion, strong liver and gallbladder, strong pancreas, a strong intestinal immune system. We can be strong at receiving and handling anger and resentment and grief and sadness. And we can be more expressive. So, what about you, brown eyed people? What are your weaknesses and strengths? So, a brown eyed person, they can tend to have circulatory problems. Their scientific name is hematogenic, which means blood. And so, everything to do with blood, you might suffer from varicose veins or neuropathy. You might have liver or gallbladder problems. You might suffer with high blood pressure. You may have a hard time handling anger and resentment, and you may repress your emotions and keep them close inside of you. You may have emotional fluctuations and difficulty receiving, but your strengths are like your kidneys and your lymphatic system and your skin. And you could be more flexible, more open at handling grief and sadness, and be more forgiving. Then everyone else, you sort of fall under the category of mixed eye people. And mixed eye people can be blue brown, light brown, hazel eyes, light brown with an amber center, a green with an amber center, or green with a brown center. And their weaknesses tend to lie in the digestive system, in the gallbladder, specifically blood sugar issues. Their scientific name is biliary eye. So you need to think about all the organs that produce bile. And they may have trouble receiving and anger and resentment issues, grief and sadness. But their strengths can be their circulatory system, their skin, their glands, their veins, their arteries, their blood serum, and they can have fantastic body pH and blood pH. So already you can see by just knowing your eye color, and then we throw in a few little structure points, and you can really pinpoint what your main weaknesses are. So we take that information and we locate those main weaknesses on this eye chart, and especially the ones that speak to you, the ones that have been bothering you. So let's say that you are a blue-eyed person and you suffer from urinary tract infections all the time. And you have tried every herb, every oil, every nutritional thing, cranberry juice until you are cran and berry, and you just cannot figure it out. Well, if you take this and you look here, you will see that the kidneys, and you all receive one of these, and you will see that the kidneys falls in the south area of the medicine wheel. The south area of the medicine wheel. And so what covers the south area of the medicine wheel? South area of the medicine wheel is all about the keeper of the South. The keeper of the South is traditionally the coyote. The coyote in Native American traditions is considered like the trickster, but he is also considered someone who is holy and holds their own right of priesthood, you might say, their power and authority. This area also is all about your current desires. So are your current desires being met? Possibly not. Maybe you are pushing them away all the time, putting everyone else first. And yes, it's good to be a servant to other people, as in serving people and being there for people. But if you are sacrificing yourself on this altar, so to speak, of I am not worthy, I cannot have these things, it's impossible, I can't have these desires that I have, it's going to show up in your kidney and your bladder, your urinary tract system. And for men, it could show up in prostate issues. And so the coyote is all about going back also to being childlike, not childish, but really going back and answering the needs of your inner child. And also learning to trust. If you have trust issues, you may have problems with your kidneys and this urinary tract system. So we're going to have to look at that and face that and figure out how we can change that. It's about playfulness, about learning about relationships, about adaptability, humor and vulnerability, and the power of an open heart. And so this is what Native American Ironology, it gives you these answers. And then it gives you possible ways for you to work on them besides some traditional things that you may have already been using. So this is the element of water, also falls into this category of the South. And so we want to look at, do you love to swim? Did you grow up by a lake? Did you live by the ocean? And are you missing that water element in your life? So maybe you need to go swimming more. Maybe you need to put a water feature in your home. Then if you are into minerals, serpentine is the mineral for this area. The plant is sagebrush. And so we can have pictures of sagebrush in our home. We could have it on our phone. We could have it on our screensaver. We could go out in the mountains more and enjoy it, or we could actually make sagebrush tea and drink it, or we could smudge with it. If you're into color therapy, the colors of yellow and green are the colors. I'm wearing green. I do tend, if I'm not on top of these areas of my life, I can easily get a urinary tract infection. But now I know why. Am I having some trust issue with someone? Am I forgetting to be more playful in my life? And your season is summer. And so this is like your season to be like a child and enjoy and go have fun. So this is just one little quick example of the things that you're going to learn in our class. And I am giving you a gift of a free download of my ebook, Aromatic Iridology, that gives you the layout of the three main eye colors and in far more detail than I did for you today to give you some answers to possibly some of the questions that you've been having about your health, about your lifestyle, about your happiness and joy. So, quick, some other areas. The area of the east is the eagle. It's about beauty and image. It is about illumination and new beginnings. The west is the bear, and it is about your power sources, as in what lights you up. Is it that massage? Is it that yoga class? Is it this certain scent of perfume? Is it that magical restaurant that you love to go to? And have you been depriving yourself of these things? And it's also about intuition and your woman place within and learning to hear your inner voice. And the element is fire for the west, and north is the white buffalo, and it is about your home. And we have um, Kathy Watts coming on next. And if you are having issues with your home, not only should you check her out, but you should also realize that the area of this is the north. And this is all about, in an iridology, traditional iridology chart, north 12 o'clock right through here is all about your brain. Do you have foggy brain? Are you having memory problems? Anything like that? And then look around your home. Is clutter matching that? And so all of these, what this does is it gives you answers. And I do free iridology readings at my booth. I will be having a vendor booth there at the summit and the conference. And so you'll have the opportunity, if you choose to get a free iridology reading from me. And every single time I do this, people are sitting there at the other side of the chair with me, and I'm looking into their eyes, and I give them just some very, very basic information. And then we go into what area of the medicine wheel out of these 24 areas is really talking to us right now. And every time I bring a big box of tissues, we have a lot of crying, we have a lot of ahas, we have a lot of laughs, and we have a lot of even sometimes anger releases of them finally realizing the answers that they have been seeking. We have answers to the questions that you may have had for years of, why do I always have this certain problem? Why do I have a problem with my home, for example? Why do I have a problem with feeling like I have any kind of beauty or with my self-image? Why do I deprive myself of the things that I love the most? And how can they even correlate? And do they correlate with your health issues? I'm here to tell you that they do. And with the Native American iridology, which is a combination of traditional iridology, constitutional iridology, my exclusive aromatic iridology, and the teachings of the medicine wheel, we've combined all of those, and it is simple, simple, simple. All you do is you just follow the grid system, and the answers are there for you. And so I hope that you will join me in my class on Saturday at 1 o'clock and come and receive some of the answers that you've been looking for yourself, for your family, your friends. And then join me at my booth for a free iridology reading if you choose to do that. So thank you so much for your time. And make sure you download my free ebook that I have available for you. And just really quick, I do want to mention see I have a few seconds left, that I hold a yearly retreat, and our retreat this year is in Utah, in Boulder, Utah, southern Utah, at a beautiful guest ranch, Boulder Guest Ranch. And at this guest ranch, you are going to be practicing this iridology with numerous people, learning more in depth about it. We are going to have guest speakers of artisan essential oil distillers, local distillers who create, and you are going to get to do it yourself. If you've always wanted to be able to be more self-sufficient in your health and learning how to make your own essential oils by wildcrafting them, and also we're going to have herbalists there who have their own apothecary businesses, and how you can very simply create all your own cleaners, healthcare products, all of this from things that you can find. And we're going to do herb walks guided by me. And then we're going to visit a lavender farm, a small lavender farm in southern Utah. It's a well-kept secret that needs to not any longer be a secret. Baker Creek Lavender Farm is going to be hosting us, and we're going to start Monday evening and we end Friday morning, and we'll be spending quite a few hours with them as well. And you will make your own essential oils and your own hydrosols and your own herbal products, and learn to make traditional Native American smudge sticks.
My
And
gosh, this sounds
things.
amazing. When is
Yes.
this? When is this?
This is July 11th through the 15th, and we have it priced for those who come to your event for only $497. Right now, it is $557. So we are giving you guys, we'll have a special code and that I will give out at my class. Those who attend my class or come to my booth, I will give them the code to get the discounted price to go to the retreat. And
That
it is
amazing.
limited seating. We are capping it off at 50. We are around 20 right now.
Mhm.
And because we want to make sure that you get individual attention.
That's awesome.
And it is going to be, this is like the mother of all herbal retreats. And because we're not just going to teach you, open up your little brown bottles or your blue bottles and make these things. No, first you're going to go gather your plants,
Wow.
distill them, and then you'll have your own little brown bottles that you made yourself.
That is so intense. That sounds so cool. I remember when I took Braxy, I think she was like 8 or something like that, on my very first wildcraft walk. And we went walking and we were like identifying plants and doing all this stuff. It was so freaking cool. I like geek out on this so hardcore. I actually might come to your event. I wrote down the dates. I wrote down the price. I'm really looking forward to that. That sounds awesome. If anybody wants to carpool with me from up this way, let me know. I just think that's amazing.
It is.
That's
And-
really cool. So is this a female retreat? Is it co-ed? Is lodging included? Do you want to?
So lodging is not included because we have the price so low. All of that is basically supplies. And so you'll check, you have a variety of lodging. You could bring a tent and set up a tent if that's your budget. You can share a cabin, but sharing some of the cabins have upwards to hold 12 people. So, get a group of friends together and spend only $25 a night, or if you want to spoil yourself and have a private room in the lodge major, they have yurts, they have teepees, they have so many fun things for you to stay in.
That's cool.
And meals are included, though. We will be doing meals and all your supplies and then we're paying for all the different guest speakers for them to come and offer all your products that you'll be making. That's where the money is going.
That's awesome. Well, July 11th to 15th. How do we find out more about that? You'll just message us.
Go to LeanneKing.com.
Okay.
LeanneKing.com, and I will be revealing the coupon code. And I might decide to do even a little better deal between now and the 23rd. I'm known for doing that. I make my secretary crazy. She goes, "What did you promise them?" And so I want to make sure that if you feel called to come, then you should come. And this retreat, I have attended several other retreats similar, and I have paid upwards for $5,000 of what we are doing for less than 500.
That
And
sounds
so
so
when I
much fun.
say that we are just covering expenses, that is exactly what I mean. This
That's
is more than
amazing.
ministry kind of retreat. This is like a gift
Mm,
to all the people that have been there through all this COVID mess and all of this. This is your chance. This is my gift to everybody.
that's so cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to that. It sounds awesome. And I'm excited about the conference to have you speak. A lot of people were commenting saying how fun your class is and how good your class was, how fascinating the information was. So thank you again. Appreciate you so much. And thanks for your generosity in that ebook and the free iridology sessions that you're doing as well. That's so generous of you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and bring on our next speaker who's been waiting backstage. This is the amazing Kathy Watts, and she's going to be talking. I've already read her bio. I've already read her class title, but she's going to be talking about the emotions that you have and how they're connected to the clutter in your home. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our next speaker, Kathy Watts.
Hey, how we doing? It's so great to be here.
I'm so happy to see you. And I apologize. Leanne's link didn't get posted for like 10 minutes into her talking. I want to put yours right at the beginning because I just feel bad that I didn't do that. Hopefully people were able to still see her link easily. I posted it up on the screen as well. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with yours and then just turn the time right over to you, give you your full time.
You got it. Thank you so much. And by the way, you guys want to grab Leanne's link. Her iridology is amazing. She did it for me. I guess it was a couple weeks ago when we were doing the St. George conference, Tammy, and she looked into my eye and she was like, "Oh, you have sinus issues." I'm like, "Yes, I do." And she's like, "Oh, you have a little diabetic spot." I'm like, "Everyone in my family develops diabetes at a certain age. It's kind of just like our pancreas just all of a sudden says, Psh, I'm not working anymore." So I mean, my grandmother and all her brothers and this and like the whole family. And she's like, "Well, this dot means in 10 years that you could blah, blah, blah. So you need to look at it." I'm like, "Okay, Roger Dodger." So it's amazing what you'll find. You guys, you definitely want to grab that and come to this event and meet amazing people like Leanne and have these things done. It's so exciting. Tammy, I'm so excited for your artist venue. My daughter just graduated from art college with a Bachelor in Fine Arts. And I'm like, can I throw her in there? Is it anybody that can do art? I probably should have just texted that to you instead of asking on a Facebook Live. But that's how I roll. So maybe tell me in the comments, can anybody, any kind of artist apply? Because she does illustration, like really cute, fun stuff. I mean, it's amazing. You talk about the energy work of an artist. I'll give you an example. We were driving home from picking him up for college, and we've got all the stuff in the car, and we saw 5 major wrecks that were just, you just spend all your time wishing the best and praying that they get the help that they need, these huge wrecks. And my daughter then created this little cute little illustration, and where it's like this just little fun little car with all the stuff. And I was like, here's how to take this bad experience and make it into something so positive. And like you're saying, art does that. So y'all come, because it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a ball. We're going to have fun. We always do. And I know a lot of the people who go to these, since I've been doing this for a number of years now. And then the people who go to these conferences are just top notch. You will be amazed. And I think you will always learn something. And even if you feel like, oh, I know everything about so-and-so, you might just see it from a different perspective. Or you might just be like, I'm really interested in la la la. And then you're going to be there and you'll be like, bam, shakalaka. And, and we've been home for a while. So let's get out and be with the people. That's what I say. I want to be where the people are. And that's Tammy's conferences. And it's going to be 3 days. So, okay. But you're probably like, okay, well, who are you? And what are you going to be doing there? So let me tell you, my friends, before I start, tell me, #replay, #live. Are you watching this live? Where are you coming from? What are you doing? Do you have questions about your home? Come and see me, and we will diagnose your space on the spot. You heard Leanne talking about sometimes even your eye can tell you might have a problem with your home. The home is so important, and I know we've been homebound for a little bit, and you might be feeling like, I just want to get out, and I get you, so that's why I'm saying, come to the conference. but your home does really affect you in really important ways, and maybe not a way that you think. A lot of times we tend to negative talk ourselves. You know, they call them ants, that automatic negative thought, the little ants that crawl through our brain. But maybe it's trying to tell you something. And what it's trying to tell you is not that you're a bad person or that you're lazy or that you're unorganized. Maybe it's trying to tell you something. Maybe it's trying to tell you your boundaries have been crossed. Maybe it's trying to tell you you're ready to let go of an emotion that you've been holding on to and you're now ready to process it. What does that mean? Well, so sometimes we have an event in our lives and it's a huge emotional event, for example, and we're just not able to process it all in the moment. Like my daughter's graduation, huge emotional event for me. She's my youngest, she's my baby. I have to admit to myself that all my babies are now adults. Yes, I have to accept that. That's a huge emotion for me. I'm probably going to take time to process it. I'm not going to be able to do it all in the moment. So what happens is your body stores it for a little while until you're in a safe space for you to process it. You've heard of this in a lot of different modalities, but the same thing is true for your home. You not only store it in your body, you store it in your home. So sometimes this can tell you, okay, you're ready to let go of this extra clutter. You're ready to let go of this emotion. For example, it's coming up for you. This clutter is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever felt like everything was organized in this section and all of a sudden, what happened? It's usually because that clutter is ready to be released, just like that emotion is ready to be released and processed. And not that you're a bad person. You're just ready to up level. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that a remarkable thought? Okay, maybe my house is just trying to tell me something that can be really empowering. Like, for example, I was talking about the boundaries. Okay. So let me tell you something from my own personal life. I didn't realize I'm not somebody that knows where boundaries are naturally. I mean, a lot of people say set your boundaries and blah, 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 but I'm always like, I don't really know where they are. I'm just like somebody who's just like, let's have fun and I love everybody, so on. And so I don't always know what's important to me, but my house does. And my house will tell me. So for example, we're just going along and my husband was trying to help me because it was just like, we did like those 3 conferences, Tammy, in April, which was just like so amazing. But I got behind on my laundry. So my husband was like, I'm going to help you and do your laundry. Okay. Which is very nice. Very nice, you would think, right? You should appreciate that, Kathy. Yes, I should. However, and so my wood section in my home got blocked. And all of a sudden, all this clutter started showing up. So I know where my wood section is, and I know what the emotion is. And a lot of times, the wood section means anger or your boundaries have been crossed. So I'm like, okay, well, what boundaries have been crossed? What have I done? What do I need? Let me think about this for a minute. See if I can figure out what the boundaries have been crossed. So I sit and think for a minute and I'm like, I really am weird and I don't like other people to do my laundry. It's a true statement. I know I should be like, let everybody do it, but I don't. I am very particular about my laundry, and I'm very particular because it's like, I don't like it to be put in a basket. I want it to be laid out. I have this thing and I want it to be done a certain way. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's what happened, but it's not necessarily his fault. He doesn't know that. And I didn't know that. I didn't realize that was one of my boundaries. So now I have this information and I can communicate, hey, thank you for helping me out with this, but actually I would prefer to do my laundry, but you can help me do this another way. So now he knows, no touchy on my laundry. So here's an example of the grid I was talking about. So you can see where all the 9 sections of the home are. And you can see here was the wood section that I was talking about right here. This little wood section. And that's just one. So I was talking about boundaries, and that is the wood section particular one that can happen. Well, what if you get into a space where you feel like I'm not getting anything done? I'm getting into my head. I'm in analysis paralysis and I'm not moving forward. Then you're going to look at your earth section. Do you see what I mean? So there are like all these different ones. Scarcity, abundance corner, of course. Abundance corner, scarcity. Relationship corner, you're getting into indifference where you feel like a heart wall. Like if I don't care, nobody can hurt me. Relationship corner. That's going to show up right there. So you can see how you can just then, once you know this, and once you've set up this space, your home is like a little diagnostic tool. And it creates a space where you are like your home space is your happy space. That's what I like to say. Your home is your happy place. You know how they talk in therapy about where is your happy space and go to your happy space and so on. And maybe normally it would be like at the beach, right? Or in the mountains in a cabin. What if that happy place, when you when you imagine that, is actually your home space? Wouldn't that be incredible? That's where you spend most of your time. And it doesn't necessarily mean that your home is 100% clutter free and everything is beautiful and it's Instagram perfect. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the energy and the feeling. And what I mean by that is that when you put your home in this flow right here, where these elements are in alignment and it's in the flow, and then you have the colors in the right space, what's going to happen is you have a space where you can feel emotions safely. You don't have to worry about them getting stagnant. You don't have to worry about it affecting other people. You don't have to say you don't have to be like, I don't know if I can feel sad because I don't want other people to feel sad. I don't have to worry about that, because what happens is it will just, it's like a river and it just flows, and you just let it, and you just let yourself feel. You can let yourself have thoughts and process, because you're not going to worry about them affecting other people, becoming stagnant, or you know what I'm saying? You could just like, you have space to feel, to think, to do. It's amazing. And it's one of the reasons why I come and do this. And I come all the way from San Antonio, Texas, because not only do I love Tammy and I love all the vendors there, but because this thing is magic. It will transform your life. And you will be really surprised. You're probably like, what does that mean? Do I have to paint all the walls? No, I'm just talking about a pop of color. I'm just talking about, we don't worry about the furniture. We don't worry about the fixtures. We don't worry about the walls. We don't worry about the flooring. All we worry about is the stuff you can intentionally put in your space, like the knickknacks. Like over here, I've got this shelf. Like in here, I would look on the shelf and say, is all this in alignment with this space? Make sure that the colors are right and the elements are right. And then it's going to create this flow that's going to rock your world, my friends. I'm going to look over here and see if there's any questions. Lisa, I love you. Okay. Lisa, we got to get together. Are you going to the thing? Tell me, are you going to the conference? Because it's going to be amazing. Yeah. So if you guys want to meet with me beforehand and just ask all the questions, what does it mean? What are you doing? It sounds like awesome, but I'm not sure. I have that little link that's for Calendly that she put in on the thing, calendly.com/healyourhome. calendly.com/healyourhome. And I will put them in the comments below as well. And you can set up a free 30-minute just thing with me. You can tell me all about your house, what your concerns are, what's happening. Because usually what happens almost always is I'll talk with you and you'll say, well, I just have this one spot where for whatever reason, I cannot seem to get rid of the clutter. Like I go in there and I clean out the clutter, and then 3 weeks later it's back and it's worse. Why? And we'll say, okay. And I'll be like, okay, well, let's dive into it. Where is that section? Where is it in your home? We'll figure it out. And we'll say, okay, well, here is that emotion. Does that resonate with you? And almost, I don't know if I've ever had a chance where it's not really, but it's like usually really, really close on point. You're like, oh my gosh, yes. Okay. Yes. And then we can do like a little healing protocol, because part of the thing with my system is not just learning to put them in the right order and do the right colors and do the right structure, but also before you do that is I have a protocol to help you release the emotion, help you process it, because there's a reason why you might have stuff there, so we create a safe space in class where you have the opportunity to release what is ready to be released in a gentle, systematic, structured way with a support group, right? For what am I talking about? We use aromatherapy to do breathing. We use healing stones to tap with. We do EFT tapping, and then we just focus on that particular emotion and so on like that. So what does it look like? I'm going to give you an example. We're going to do water, and water is all about releasing the fight or flight response. If you ever felt like you're in a space where you're like putting out fires all the time, water, my friends. So you might say, we're going to do things like, we would just tap in the positive words. I increasingly trust in my ability to make my dreams come true. That's the water focus. right? We want to focus on calm assurance. Okay, so that's a lot of information all at once, and I know that. So come see me at the booth, bam, bam, this summer. It's going to be amazing. I am so excited to be there. It's going to be so awesome. 3 days with you guys. I just love the people in Utah and Idaho and all the people that I meet through the conferences. I adore you. There's something about you guys that I don't know. It's like I can't get enough. I'm just going to come back and meet all you and talk with you. And even if you just come to me and talk for 5 minutes, you're not in a space to do your home. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's all cool because I'm just want to share this with you. And if I can help you just a little bit, that's awesome. And then if you're like, this is my jam, then you can see about signing up for my class.
This is awesome. I do want to ask a quick question here. Christine is a good friend of mine. I actually did a half marathon with her and her family. She's such a babe. I love her so much. She says, Kathy, how do you handle a space that is someone else's space when their stuff is all over the place? And yes, I know specific loved ones that they would have this question too. So I'm going to let you answer that. Give you a quick 1 or 2 minutes to finish up.
Yes. So great question. Well, what do you do about that? So we when we beta tested this and when we experimented with this, we found something very, very interesting happened. If you have one person in the home that is going through the program and processing all the emotions, the whole home will shift. I'll give you an example. So my good friend Nicole, who helps me do like a healing circle in class, Nicole Ronigan. She is like amazing, guys. You'll love her, rock star. Anyway, so we were doing Life Path, and Life Path is this corner. Let me just show you real quick. Sorry, I'm trying to be quick so I don't take up everybody's time, but I want to show you. Life Path is that front left corner right here. It's right down here, right? So here's your front door. Okay, when you walk in your house, it's the front right. Did I say left? Right. It's right. It's the front right corner. Anyway, so we were doing that. And we were working about that, and that hidden emotion is just like when you get into that failure energy, you want to raise that to courage to keep going no matter what on your path. And in fact, Tammy, that's where you have your Leo, your lion. Anyway, okay, I digress. But so we did it in class, and then Nicole called me like 2 days later, and she's like, "You wouldn't believe this. My 2 boys live in that corner, and unbeknownst to me, my husband asked them to clean up their space, and they didn't just clean up their space, but they cleaned up their space. They didn't just put stuff under the bed, but they actually cleaned it out." And she goes, "I was so amazed. I went up to them and I said, 'Do you know what you did? You just did this.'" And her boys were like, "Wow, this stuff really works." So we have found that if one person does it in the home, it will affect everybody in this space. So what happens is you can be that almost like a proxy for everybody else and release the emotions. This is what we're talking about, the home. So it's not just a you individual. It is everybody who lives in that space. You can work and process. And we've had amazing results from that. In addition to that, if you want to, and you just like say you rent a room or you just have a room, you can actually just do a room in this space. You don't have to do the whole home. Like my son just rents a room, and I know many people who just rent rooms, they can just do their individual room and the grid and process it as well. And then other people can, if they choose to, also, through their own agency, if they want to, they can also have their emotions processed by this person. And if you're talking about generational healing, this also applies. That's all I'm gonna say. Yes, does that answer your question?
Yes, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And yeah, when you showed the map, the chart, I was like, that's where my lion is.
Yeah.
My big, like fierce, but yet calm, looking lion painting that you and I found, and it's literally pointed right at my family, like I'm watching over them. I love it. So yeah, Christine, does that answer your question? You should definitely do an appointment with the amazing Kathy. Kathy, when somebody schedules an appointment with you, what does that look like? What are they doing in those 30 minutes?
Well, it's really there's not really a structure. Well, basically what happens is we just meet on Zoom for 30 minutes, and I'll just ask questions like, tell me about your space and how are you feeling? And then we just kind of dive into one section and say, okay, well, let's just try this one section based upon what that person, what their needs are at the moment.
Cool. That's awesome.
Super easy.
Very cool. All right. Well, everybody go schedule an appointment with her. That's so generous of you. Very, very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. I'll see you in a few weeks. I can't wait to give you a great big hug.
I can't wait to see you.
Casey. Oh, she's awesome. Everybody send her some yummy vibes over in Texas. I just love her energy so much. She's such a blast. I am so excited. I get to bring on our next and our final speaker for today. This is Melanie Skelton. And you guys, Melanie is the one I gave her introduction early on before, but she's also a professional master herbalist and certified international iridologist as well. And Melanie has just got a huge amount of information and literally decades of experience. I can't wait to hear more about her journey, how she got into this, and of course, how she's going to be able to help those of you who've been on this journey for yourselves as well. Please go ahead and welcome to our virtual stage, Melanie Skelton.
Well, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Well, I'm excited to be here and be part of this. This has been a fun day to listen to both Kathy and Leanne. Of course, my heart is in some of the same information that Leanne covered, so that was really fun to hear what she talked about.
Yeah, I love how everybody's got their own unique take on things,
Right.
and different people resonate with different people. I absolutely love that. Well,
Yeah.
Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to you. I also know that you have a pre-conference giveaway. So I'm going to go ahead and share that link and let you talk about that right at the beginning. Does that sound good?
Okay, that sounds great. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. Our pre-conference giveaway, we just decided to do something fun. I love to do giveaways. It's just one of my favorite things. We have the store out here in Tooele, Melanie's Health and Nutrition. And so I pulled together, you've got the link there. It's a giveaway that is worth $291, actually. It's a combination of a lot of fun things. We have some of our Amane products in there. Those are the products that I have formulated that we make. This is one of our lotions, our Citrus Kiss. It's got my little story on and me and the comfrey patch there on the little tag. We've got some bath bombs in there. Our bath bombs are not just any old bath bombs. They are ones that we never add fake colors or fake fragrances. Everything is very natural. We've got some shower steamers, some natural deodorants. And then we've got some other brands. Life Seasons has donated some things to give away, some BreatheX, RestX, and Stem Booster, which is one of my things I'm really fascinated with right now. It's a great product. Dr. Mercola donated some magnesium L-threonate. Host Defense donated some chaga mushrooms. If you've not learned about mushrooms, we're going to have some great mushroom information at our booth at the conference. And Ancient Nutrition donated some SBO probiotics, which are kind of an amazing approach to probiotics. So we are going to give this away. All you have to do is click on the link and go register for the drawing. And then we I think I said 1:15 today, we'll do that drawing and give that away. We'll post the winner information on our website, on our Facebook page. And we can link it over here too if you want, Tammy. And then we'll contact the winner, of course. So everybody go register for that. We're super excited to give stuff away. Like I said, my favorite thing. And my other favorite thing is just helping people to be empowered. I know that years ago for me, when I had cancer, Tammy mentioned that it was over 25 years ago. And that was kind of where I discovered this whole world that I live in now. I wish then that I had known some of what I know now. I think iridology would have been a powerful thing for me to understand some things in my life, as would have herbs. But, we travel the road that we're on, and I believe that we have experiences in our life for a reason, because honestly, without going through that cancer experience, I wouldn't be where I am now and who I am now. And, then I had kind of a follow-up experience where about 7, 8, 9, I'm losing track of time, but I was in a pretty dramatic car accident. And as I laid in the trauma unit up at the U, that was where I realized that I needed to stop being afraid to share the things I was learning, and decided to go and pursue some more learning and become a master herbalist. And so just then I have kind of gone down that road. and it's taken me places I couldn't have pictured. So, and I love being able to help the people around me, to help them to find their own personal answers, because every single one of us has a different story. And as Leanne talked about, that story really is in our eyes, and it shows up initially as just, what color are your eyes? And that's such a simple place to start. I was excited that she went over the little bit of information about the different eye colors, because that's always in iridology kind of where we begin. And so she talked about how there are, how if you have blue eyes, then we know that we tend to have an overactive lymph system and maybe produce more mucus. And along with that, we can have an overactive immune system. Now, thinking about that overactive immune system, and knowing that I just shared with you that I went through cancer and some chemotherapy back when, that can kind of all play into that, I think. And had I understood that then, like, how could that have helped me? So we can't look back. We can't go, I wish I had. And we don't really know the future, obviously, but when we understand the systems of our body better, our strengths and weaknesses, then we have the power to kind of change how we nourish our body. And that's always at the core of my message, is how do I nourish my body the very best, so that, what does my body need? And by understanding those breakdowns in the eye color and the other structural things that our eyes can tell us, we can often start nourishing our body more efficiently and better. If you have blue eyes, then perhaps you are taking things like mullein as an herb. You're making sure that you're exercising and deep breathing and drinking plenty of water. Those things are all going to help that lymph system to just be at its best and to move the way that it needs to. If you have brown eyes, you may have a tendency toward lacking the ability to hold on to those essential minerals. Well, now we're looking at using herbs like dandelion, which is high in minerals, or nettles or alfalfa. Those are a great thing to turn to. But then we also look at the way we eat, not just the herbs, but how we eat. And grains are high in a lot of minerals also, and so we can incorporate grains into our diet in a way that they support our body, and we're getting those nutrients that our body really is in need of. So for somebody that Leanne mentioned that the people that aren't blue or brown kind of fall in the middle, we call them mixed irises, and they can have a tendency for a weakness in the pancreas area, which affects, our sugar levels. So then we can support the body through cedar berries or other things that help support that pancreas and help that pancreas to be strong and healthy, so that it can do its best to maybe never have actual problems with it. And I feel like that is the beauty in understanding the story in our eyes. If we know that story before we have problems, then we can nourish our body and hopefully, with the hope of avoiding having actual problems, because we've taken care of those things ahead of time. So, yeah. So I will also be offering little iridology sessions at the conference. I had thought that out before, and then Leanne said it, and now I'm just excited to meet her and talk to her. But just know that I will also be doing little sessions at my booth. I think it could be really interesting for a person to talk to both of us, and just, each person has different backgrounds, and I love that she's focused on the Native American aspect of it. That is incredible. And so that's great. The other thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about for a minute was, we've talked a little bit about the color of the eyes, but then you get into even the structure of the eyes. Some people have structure, like we all have fibers in the iris that sometimes those fibers are they're tight and thick, so that you look at an iris, and it's clean, I guess, so to speak. You might look at another iris. If you looked at mine up close, you would see that it's a very creative iris. And I think that always, when I look at different irises, it makes me think of a canvas, literally, of this is a creation of beautiful colors and pigments and structure. And mine is a little bit more creative, which tells me something about my body and how it works with my connective tissue and how I want to support my body because of that. And so it's just fun to look at each of those little things, the little pigments that, as Leanne was talking about, might be, in one of the areas, the kidney area or the lung area, the liver area, and gain insight from that. But then be able to take that and learn from it. And we'll talk in more depth in my class about all of this. We'll have some examples of eyes that will show you and help you to kind of learn from that. I would like everybody to leave not feeling like they have to necessarily just come to me for all the answers, but that they can learn ways to find some of their own answers. I really, empower is one of my favorite words. And I believe that we can be empowered as we learn that there are options around us. We just have to be willing to ask the questions and sometimes get outside of the place where we are, which, might be, Kathy talked about the clutter. And that was so fascinating because, we sometimes getting out of that place, whether it's clutter or whether it's an emotional place, which in the end, everything is so connected, and being able to move into a new space that helps us to find what we need to find in our lives so that we can be strong and happy individuals. So let's see. What else?
I'm like so excited to have looked at your website and all of the like amazing creations that you guys have. I'm I guess you could call me like a natural type of person. Like I don't want to put a bunch of stuff that I don't know how to pronounce on me. And when I look through your products, like I feel really good about everything that you have there. And my grandma would have called that a hippie type thing.
Well, call me a hippie then. And that all became very important to me after I had that cancer, because I just didn't want to be putting anything on my skin or in my body that is going to contribute to that again. I'd prefer to never do that again. Of course, we would all prefer that, but
Well, I mean, some people just don't know about the health risks and the different things that can do. They don't understand the difference until they have had their own real life situation. So now one other thing that really impressed me when I went on to your website was that you guys do free shipping for orders that are over $75. And you had a little pop-up thing that gave an additional 15% off. So that's some seriously awesome deals. What other kinds of things can we expect at your vendor space at the conference? Are you going to have products for sale, or will it?
We will. Yes, we'll have products for sale. One of the product lines that I'm excited to focus on, of course, we'll have our Omni products there for sure. But we also are going to bring a brand called Fungi. It's a mushroom brand that they're out of Oregon. It's this cute couple. They just, she is about to have a baby or just had it. I haven't heard whether the baby has come yet, but they've created this amazing product line of mushroom tinctures. And they do it they don't just throw mushrooms in a bottle. They actually pay attention to the seasons and the cycles of the moon and all of those things. And they make their products according to those seasonal situations. So we're super excited. We love their products, and I'm super excited to have that at the conference. We're looking for some other fun things in the store that we're going to bring. We've got some fun chakra products like our chakra candles, and we're going to bring those and an essential oil chakra blend set from Purify Skin Therapy. We'll have those there. And anyway, we'll just a highlight. We'll probably have some of the herbs that we have in the shop And we're looking for kind of the specifically unique things to bring and have there. But also, like you said, there is a 15% off coupon when you go to melanieshealth.com. And that'll just pop up, and be sure and sign up to get that discount. And anything that we talk about at the conference too, if we don't have it there in the booth, we will help you to figure out how to get that ordered and sent off to you right there from the conference as well. I will have my team there. Like I said, I'll be doing the iridology appointments, but I'll have my team there with me from the store, and they are just so knowledgeable as well. And so they'll be able to kind of help if you have questions about any kind of herbs or nutrients, just health things in general that are, the kind of questions you would ask in a health food store. They all have different backgrounds and different knowledge. And so it'll be fun for you to pick their brains as well. I always love it when I walk out into the store and I overhear conversations going on, and I learn from them all the time. So I'm happy to have them there at the conference with me. So just come and pick their brains, learn from our whole team. It's going to be fun. So excited to be there.
Yes, this is amazing. I feel like, I don't know, like, oh, I'm so
Right?
excited to have you there. I feel like if you and I lived right by each other, like we would be besties. We would be at each other's houses all the time. I'd be like, ooh, what else are you concocting? What else are you creating? Like, I can't wait to hear about this. It's going to be so much fun. The fact that you also know how to read the body through the eyes, and then you take those tools and combine them together. This is like right up my alley. My grandmother used to do this. My brother used to do this. Like, this is, for me, I just feel like this comes so second nature. I did not know the things about the color of the eye, like Leanne was sharing. You said this is primary type stuff for iridology. I'm like, well, I feel a little behind the times. I do have a question for you. If people are practitioners, can they use your products as a resource? Do you have some sort of connection that they can hook up with you?
Yes.
For the Amane? Tell us a little bit about that and how they can connect with you.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I didn't even think to throw that out there. But we have recently set up a new affiliate program, or what were we going to call it? Our ambassador program. We like that even better.
Yeah,
and so basically it's a way for you to share our products and be able to earn money doing that. So it's a really cool program. You can link to that right on our Amane.com page, and it'll lead you there. Or if you have other questions about it, reach out to me. You can email me at info@Amane, info at auminay.com. And or talk to me at the conference. We'll have
I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen here for those of you who are practitioners. We do have a lot of people who, are just the common lay person. They want to learn about it for their own health, for their own family. Empowerment is really big to me too. As a mom of 8 kids, I live in the country. Like, we've had goats, garden, we've bottled our own food, done all this kind of thing for years and years. And now I'm just I'm very grateful for people like you who are doing all of the behind the scenes things for when you don't have time to put the herbs together. You don't have time to just do it all like that. But you've got the information to empower people and then be able to offer it to, to our clients as well. This is huge. So thank you.
And there's one other thing, Tammy. We do actually wholesale. So, if there was a practitioner that really just wanted to be able to buy the products and have them there in their space to sell, that is another thing that we can work with. So
that's awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to close out with today?
Well, I can't think of anything specifically, just that I'm super excited to be there. It was fun to be part of this, and I'm just looking forward to feeling all of that great energy at the conference and being part of that. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for being here as well. This is going to be awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's her link on the screen one more time. For those of you who maybe joined in a little bit late, I don't want you to miss out. If you click on this link or you type it in, it will bring you up to a page where you can go and enter. And she's got an amazing giveaway for people who would like to be able to connect with her in advance. This is a pre-conference giveaway that is happening specifically with Amane Naturals and of course Melanie's health and wellness as well. You guys, I'm so excited about this. What a generous pre-conference giveaway that she's put together. It includes a lot of really great products. And of course, there's some pampering stuff in there as well. I love to collect bath bombs, and I say collect bath bombs because I rarely take a bath, but I love the shower. So I love that she's got the shower stuff in there too, those steamers. That'll be amazing. I usually give the bath bombs to my husband and I do the shower. It's kind of funny, but this is going to be amazing. Thank you so much to all of our speakers today who have joined me. Leanne King, Kathy Watts, and of course, Melanie Skelton. I am so honored to have you be a part of this event. For those of you who maybe didn't hear, we are still looking for volunteers. So if that is something that interests you at all and you don't mind helping out, it's just a 3-hour block. You're not helping for the full 3 days. Please go ahead and go to our conference website. You can go ahead and learn more there. Yeah, I feel like, we have been tied up in our houses for too long, and it's exciting to be able to connect with people. I know my community, our energy healing family, will never again take for granted the possibility or the opportunity to be able to connect with those of like mind. That's what this conference is all about. It is the world's largest energy healing conference. We've been producing this event since 2014. We're looking forward to thousands of people gathering. Oh, and by the way, if you happen to see our billboards up, we have 7 of them all the way down the Wasatch Front, clear down into Utah County. We would love to have you take a picture, if it's safe to do so, of course, if you're the one that's not driving, and send it in. You'll automatically get a free pair of tickets for that as well. All right, you guys, we'll see you. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. And of course, when you go to our website, you'll be able to see all of our Memorial Day sale prices as well. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.